But that doesn't, and the only problem is that it doesn't make sense because we're going to be recording all the other classes. Huh? What? What is it? No, هذا أيسر because that's مباشر. الثاني مش مباشر. And the other one's تسجيل. هذا شيء آخر أنت تسجل. خلي كما كان. أنا أقول لك عندما نحن نكمل هذا خلاص نحن بنقف من هذا. أنا. No, once I finish all these books that we're teaching, we're done with the tasweer. Yeah, we're gonna stop it. We're only gonna recording by video. I already told them. I said once we get done with the ones that, because that's what I'm saying. We're still recording Kitab Tawheed and all that. So like once we get done with that, khalas, man. Audio. Yeah, we're just gonna like we can do the live stream, but like you said, you just point it to something else.
Why? Because it's not permissible.
That's not permissible. I don't see it as being permissible. I never did. But the problem is, you recording now. The problem is that a lot of the people they don't watch it. It's just audio. So that's not a justification. It's just a reality. Yeah. I still believe it's haram. Regardless. I'm because a lot of people they try to justify it that way. I'm not justifying this, but haram. But where is it? Where is it at now? Why is it so close? Huh? I know, but get the thing. I don't know because
I might take that cat home.
Which cat?
The white one, but I won't take it today.
It's too old, man. You got to get it when it's real small, because he's too wild. Or she, I think it's a she.
That's what I wanted because it's a she.
No, but she's too big now. See, we got her brother when he was real small. He was a little kitten. So khalas, when he grows up in the house and that wildness leaves him. He's still a little wild,
Yeah, I seen today.
Yeah, no, he fights every cat that comes in the house, boy. Every cat that comes in the house. Just runs up and just smacks him. So I told Abdul Malik, I said, we're changing his name to Mike Tyson.
Iron Mike.
Iron Mike. All right, so Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. So we're on chapter 137, Bab Husn al-Khuluqi idha faqahu. It should be idha faqahu bil dhamma, not bil kasra. Why? Because you have faqaha and you have faqiha. Faqaha, it means to what? Sara faqihan. That you become a person of fiqh, that you become a person of understanding. Faqiha, it means like faqiha mas'alatan, like you understand an issue or you understand something. So it's muta'addi. Wal-awwal ghayra muta'addi. So this should be husnul khuluqi idha faqahu. Alright, Sara faqihan. So this is the good character if the person becomes a person of fiqh, a person of understanding in the deen. And obviously, this is what should happen. As the person has a stronger understanding of the deen, then the person's character should start to what? Become better and better and better. Even if the person was a person of good character, aslan, because he just maybe just had like naturally good character, the more that he learns of the deen, is that the better his character should become. You should see the change, because there's no way like you're gonna sit here, go out and study an Arabiya, and learn how to read learn the deen so you can sit down and read the books of the ulama, and then you're going to sit down and read books by Ibn al-Qayyim, books by Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, when they're talking about the diseases of the heart, and they're talking about all the things that you need to know. And Ibn al-Qayyim, he has a book, it's called Ighathat al-Lahfan, which talks about the masaya, the shaitan, which are the traps that shaitan sets for you. And you're reading this and you're learning this, and then you read this book, you learn this information, you see this information from an imam, and then you go and you fall right into the traps that he tells you to avoid. Or you read Adab al-Dawa, and you read about the sicknesses of the heart, and then you go and promote the sickness of your heart. You go and stimulate that sickness even more. Or you read like Adab al-Sabirin, and you're the person that has the smallest amount of patience. Did you kick that cat out of her chair?
No, he kicked out the cat out of her.
Who kicked the cat out? She was sitting right there in that chair after the salat. She was ready for the dars. Who kicked the cat?
He saw me change it.
I'm kicking somebody out.
I got this chair.
Maybe she left on her own. I don't know.
She put the chair back?
I saw her when I got up to pray those 2 rak'ahs after Maghrib. She was sitting right in the chair. I said, look at her. She already took her chair. All right, so I mean, there's no way like you're gonna sit here and read these types of books and then go and, I mean, then you go and you act in the opposite direction, you know. So obviously, Islam, the more knowledge that we have about Islam, the better that we should become, not the worse. If the person starts to, you know, the more he learns about Islam, the worse he becomes. You know, the more sins that he falls into, and that's not a good sign for that person. It's not a bushra for that person, you know. So Allah musta'an, because that means he's not accepting of the truth. All right, so hadith number 284. حدثنا علي بن عبد الله من هذا؟
Another one.
No, that's the same cat.
Just loud.
She's looking for her mother or looking for food. I don't know.
Or for attention.
All right, Ali ibn Abdullah, man.
Ibn Mas'ud.
Ibn Mas'ud is the Sheikh of Bukhari.
No. I thought it was a different one. Sorry. I thought it was the son of Abu Bakr.
Wow. If he was the son of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, then that means Bukhari would be from Natba'a Tabi'in. Come on, man. That doesn't even make sense either. Ali ibn Abdullah, who is this? Check the live stream. Maybe there's some people that pay attention to this book more than you guys.
Someone said Abbas and they deleted it right now.
Yeah, as they heard what you said. Ali ibn Abdullah.
Someone says Allahu A'lam. This is Abdullah. This is Abdullah, the Syrian brother.
Al-Madini.
Oh, isn't he the one that? Yeah, he's the one that convinced Imam al-Bukhari to write Sahih al-Bukhari.
Sheikh of Bukhari, Sheikh of Imam Ahmed. Wake up, people.
He's the one who convinced Imam Bukhari to do Sahih al-Bukhari.
Al-Madini. All right, you don't get too many ahadith that he narrates directly from him, so alhamdulillah, today's a beautiful day. قال حدثنا الفضيل ابن سليمان النميري هو ضعيف بسبب سوء الحفظ. The hadith is حسن لغيره, so don't worry. The chain of narration is still going to be authentic because there's other chains of narration in Mustadrak al-Hakim that are authentic. So, but this chain is ضعيف. All right, عن صالح ابن خوات ابن صالح ابن خوات ابن جبير عن محمد بن يحيى ابن حبان عن أبي صالح عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن رجلا لا يدرك بحسن خلقه درجة القائم بالليل. All right, so this hadith is حسن لغيره. So Abu Hurairah رضي الله عنه, he reported that the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم said that a man will لا يدرك بحسن لا يدرك. What's a good word in English for that?
To reach?
Yeah, reach. That's good. Because it's like, you know, yudruk is like to catch up to something, like to, it can mean to comprehend something or to catch up. And like when you're trying to catch somebody in the daraktahu, you call him. All right, so yeah, he'll reach the level, he'll reach, because of his good character, the level of a person who stands up at night. And in another narration, qa'im al-layl wa sa'im an-nahar, for the person that stands up at night and fasts during the day. That's in a different narration. So because of his husn al-khuluq, that he'll reach that level. He'll reach the same level as the person who does that, assuming that also that person that stands up at night, well, if he has husn al-khuluq, then obviously he's going to be ahead of him, right? So it shows you, because again, the husn al-khuluq, it goes back to obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, so there's no doubt. The person, that's obedience. So the person, this might be his thing to stand up at night and pray, but we don't know what else he does throughout the day. But this person he remains in obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throughout the entire day. So he gets that ajr. All right, so hadith number 285. حدثنا حجاج بن منهل قال حدثنا حماد بن سلمة عن محمد بن زياد قال سمعت أبا هريرة رضي الله عنه يقول سمعت أبا القاسم صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول خيركم إسلاما أحاسنكم أخلاقا إذا, and again it's to be إذا فقهوا بالضمة. All right, this is sahihun. This hadith is sahih ala sharat al-Muslim. What does that mean? If somebody says Sahih ala sharati Muslim.
Sahih according to the conditions that Imam Muslim.
I know it. I didn't say translated. I said, what does it mean?
Because I know Imam Bukhari, his condition was every narrator has to meet each other.
So what's the condition for Muslim?
Not every narrator has to meet one another.
Mu'asara.
Like as
It's condition that he has to have lived in the same time as the person. Because we're not gonna let it go until you pick it up. All right. Because so he had to be a contemporary of the person, obviously. Because I mean, you can't be narrating from a dead person. But because obviously, if you know, and if you look at Muslim, right, you say, okay, that doesn't make sense in one wedge, but it makes sense in another, right? From one perspective, it doesn't make sense. Why? Because we spoke about this before, way back when I first got to Fresno. We talked about the conditions of Bukhari and Muslim. And I told you, I said, I lived in Saudi Arabia. I lived in Riyadh. All right? So based on the conditions of Muslim, on his conditions, I could narrate from Sheikh Abdul Rahman al-Barak. Because Sheikh Abdul Rahman al-Barak, he teaches in Riyadh. I never sat with Sheikh Abdul Rahman. I never sat with him, never seen him. Because he taught far, far away from where I lived at. I didn't have transportation, you know. So Abdul Aziz al-Rajihi, I didn't sit with him. But based on the conditions that he set forth, then what? Then I could narrate from them because what? We're not just mu'asirin, we also lived in the same city, the same area. But that's one perspective. The other perspective of why you can understand why he would have this condition, because if I'm an honest person, I wouldn't be narrating from a person who, what? I never sat with, or I never met, or I don't even know. You know, I only know him through his books. I never sat with him. So that's what he's dealing with. He's like, look, this person is known for honesty. He's known for adala. He wouldn't lie about this stuff, you know. He wouldn't lie. So he took the people at their word. Whereas Bukhari, he wanted to make sure that the hadith was authentic. It's not that he didn't trust the people, but he wanted to, you know, to confirm. Yeah, he wanted more yaqeen, you know. So he put that condition. And that condition, aslan, is also from his sheikh. Who is the sheikh? Ali ibn Abdullah al-Madini. That's where the condition, you know, he got those conditions, you know, because he also had similar conditions for the hadith being sahih. So when Muslim was doing his muqaddimah, and he was very harsh, like if you knew the conditions of Bukhari, you'd be like, whoa, he's really bashing Imam Bukhari's head in. But no, he's trying to bash Ali ibn Abdullah al-Madini's head in. That's what he's trying. That's what he's refuting. Because you know, but that doesn't matter, because that's the conditions that they took for the hadith to be sahih. Doesn't mean that you have to accept those conditions. So when they say ala sharat Muslim, it means that the person fulfills that condition, but he doesn't fulfill the condition of Bukhari. All right. So let's go over the hadith because we didn't even talk about it. All right. So he said, "An Abi Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu." He said, "I heard Abul Qasim." Who was Abul Qasim?
And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
All right. That's his kunya. So is it permissible for a person to take on the kunya of Abul Qasim? He said, لا يعني تسموا باسمي ولا تسموا بكنيتي, right?
You said that?
Yes. Look it up in the hadith. Look it up. Get your phone. Or take somebody else's phone if you like got the check on and you don't want to use your phone. Or I'll tell you what, I can.
You gonna do it?
Yeah, because I end up doing it in the end anyway. So it's like, might as well just go ahead and knock out the middleman, right? Because every time he searches for it, I'm like, man, I can't find it. He's looking for the hadith on what? Sheikh Mubaz's website.
That's history.
It's not history.
Assalamu alaikum, baby.
All right. I messed. All right. So the last part is incorrect, but all right. So this is in Sahih Bukhari, narrated by Abi Hurairah. He says, "Sammu bi ismi." All right. ولا تقتنوا بكنيتي ومن رآني في المنام فقد رآني فإن الشيطان لا يتمثل في صورتي ومن كذب علي متعمدا فليتبوأ مقعده من النار. So he said, take on, you can call yourselves with my name, Muhammad. ولكن ولا تقتنوا بكنيتي, Abu al-Qasim. Alright, وَمَنْ رَآنِي فِي الْمَنَامِ, and whoever sees me in a dream, and it doesn't mean that you just see somebody that pretends to be the Prophet. You have to see the Prophet ﷺ with all of his characteristics from the Sunnah. And that's why at Tirmidhi, he wrote his famous book for those characteristics. And what is the name of that book?
Is it called like Sifat al-Nabi sallallahu?
No. It's Shama'il. Ash-Shama'il.
Oh, yeah, Shama'il.
Alright, so Ash-Shama'il, he compiled all the hadith about the characteristics and the description of the Prophet ﷺ.
Is it authentic?
Huh?
Is it authentic?
Most of it, yeah. So it's all book of hadith from Tirmidhi. All right. So he said, فَإِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ فَverily shaitan لَا يَتَمَثَّلُ فِي صُورَتِي, that he can't take on my appearance, like he can't take on that exact description, but he'll come in another way, to pretend like he's the Prophet ﷺ for like an ignorant person who doesn't know, and trick him. He said, وَمَنْ كَذَبَ عَلَيَّ مُتَعَمِّدًا, and whoever tells a lie about me on purpose, فَلْيَتَبَوَّعَ مَقْعَدَهُ مِنَ النَّارِ, and let him prepare his seat in the hellfire. So yes. So the permissibility of taking on the kunya, like the ulama differ in that. They say that, and that was in his time, because that way there's no confusion. Some of the ulama say that you can't take his name and the kunya. You could take on the kunya, like let's say that your name is Ahmed or Hassan. Then you could take on the kunya Abu al-Qasim, being that your name is Hassan, because why? You don't have the same name and the same kunya. But it's really, Allah knows best, the strongest opinion is that was in his lifetime that you can't take it. But, it's still, the nahi, it is not time stipulated. So it's better to leave it. دع ما يريبك إلى ما يريبك. So many people say that's in his
إلى ما لا يريبك.
What did I say?
You said دع ما يريبك إلى ما يريبك.
إلى ما لا يريبك. أخي, I'm tired, man. Leave me alone. Yeah, leave what you doubt for what you doubt even more, right? That's what we do in America, right?
That's what it was trying to do. The hadith, the Prophet says, دع ما يريبك إلى ما يريبك, like leave off that which doubts into that which doesn't make you doubt. But he didn't say لا.
No, I didn't. I added.
On accident.
I intended to say it, but maybe it's just because I dragged my words, I didn't get it out. But yeah. But anyways, that's what we do in America. We leave that which we doubt for that which we doubt even more. Yeah, subhanAllah. That's the deen of America. You see that? If we didn't follow the things that we doubted, I think we wouldn't have these Islamic centers, man.
That's their deen, not mine.
Long time. But all right, so he said, all right, let's get back to the hadith now. All right, so he said, خَيْرُكُمْ إِسْلَامًا, the best of you all in Islam, and the best of Islam of all of you, أَحَاسِنُكُمْ أَخْلَاقًا, the best of all of you in character. So the best of you in character is the best of you in Islam, with your Islam. إِذَا فَقُهُ, if the person, what? Has an understanding in the deen. Because there's one thing for a person to have good character, but then it's another thing for a person to have an understanding and knowledge in the deen and good character. That person, khalas, that's what we call the ulama. All right, so.
Can you say it again, please?
I said it's a difference between a person having good character and a person having good character with like knowledge and understanding of the deen. Because that's where the ulama, that's them. They have that good character, but they also have the knowledge and understanding of the deen with the righteous actions. So there's no doubt that person is going to be the best of all people in Islam. He's got good character and he's got knowledge and understanding of the deen. Allah Mustaan. That person is a ni'mah, for instance. That's the person that you want to sit with and spend your time with. You find a person like that. These people are very rare. Very, very rare. Allah Mustaan. Take some questions before we go to Baloo, inshallah.
The calls are so small.
See, normally they don't come in the masjid because I feed them before the class. I didn't feed them. I told them after the class. So now they're running up in the masjid looking for the food. Because she normally gets her own bowl. So they're trying to know. Grandma. Yeah. The Jews. There's no time or the on Jews because it's only used for a woman.
Oh.
You don't use that for a man.
See, subhanAllah, the culture got to me.
Huh?
They use it for now. They say العجوز and العجوزة. The Yemenis do.
Yeah, the culture got you. This is the wrong notebook. Give me the other notebook, please. This is for Kitab Tawheed.
أصلا
Huh?
أنا نسيت سؤال للأخ.
What is it?
Also, this is something according to Sheikh Al-Albani got ruling from the hadith. Someone says, is it from the sunnah that if one enters and leaves a room, they should give salam to the one in it? And does the ruling
Again. Say it again.
Is it from the sunnah that if one enters and leaves a room, they should give salam to the one in it? And does the ruling stay the same if it's often?
The person leaves the room and comes back.
Sheikh Al-Albani, he taught there's a sunnah.
No, but he said if something like yafsul bainakum, like if something like, separates you, that you come back and give salams. I mean, it's not wajib, but it's a hadith. So, if the person wants to do it, yes, it's sunnah.
Like if they leave the room and they come back? Or is it just if like a tree breaks them apart? Or like
if you left the room, something fasal bainakum, right? So,
it's
not specific for the room, I'm saying. It's not the hadith doesn't mention anything about leaving the room. It mentions about if something comes between you, something, so.
Is there a woman?
So it's amum.
And what if it's every single time? Is it permissible?
It's like you gotta understand the people that you're giving salams to. You might be getting on the other person's nerves every time you say salam alaikum, salam alaikum, salam alaikum, salam alaikum. So just do what's the.
What if they don't get mad? What if they don't get
Then
mad?
do it.
Okay.
Read the room.
You're making dua for the person when you say salam alaikum. There's nothing wrong, but I'm just saying. Honestly, if my kids kept doing that every time they left the room and came back and said salam alaikum, Baba, I'm like, man, just what do you want? It's like, just get to the point. So.
What if they add wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh or wa rahmatullah?
It's up to you. They want to get the extra ajr, then let them get the extra ajr.
If you just wanted tafseel for
But like I said, just understand the person. Understand the person, that you're not, Said, could you please, this is a question that was sent to my son from Britain, I guess, because it's a 44 number.
This is Ali Sayyid.
Huh?
That's the brother, I think, Ali. He used to participate in the live stream. I don't know if he still does.
Huh? It's not him.
It's not him?
Because this was recent. This was like right before we went to San Diego, right? Yeah, I think so. All right, he said, could you please ask Ustad Sutton on following the evidences as opposed to the madhab of the region? Example, scenario being salah and the jama'ah. The madhab here doesn't see it as wajib, but there are many hadith, and we mentioned that in the previous, in Adab al-Mufrad right now. What do we say? Check the Sahabi. Is it Abu Sa'id al-Khudri that reported that hadith? قال وما كان يعني وما كان يتخلف عنه إلى منافق معلوم النفاق. It's a beautiful hadith, man. He said, because he mentioned in that hadith, he said, he said, about the salat al-jama'ah, إنه من سنة نبيكم وَلَنْ تَرَكْتُ سُنَّةَ النَّبِيِّ. He doesn't mean sunnah to nabiyikum, because if a sahabi says it's min sunnah to nabiyikum, what is he? It means that he sees it as being what? It's a wajib. No, it's wajib. This is what the Prophet used to do all the time. That means that we do it. We don't, no questions asked. He said, وَلَنْ تَرَكْتُمْ سُنَّةَ نَبِيِّكُمْ لَضَلَوْتُمْ. You found that? Give me the whole hadith.
Abdullah bin Mas'ud.
Oh, Abdullah bin Mas'ud. Alright, so عن عبد الله بن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال من سره أن يلقى الله غدا مسلما فليحافظ على هؤلاء الصلوات حيث ينادى بهن. He said, whoever wishes to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tomorrow, a Muslim, as a Muslim, فليحافظ, then let him protect and let him, what's a good word for you? Hafiz.
Preserve.
Yeah, preserve. Then let him preserve the prayers where the adhan, where they're called, where the salat, where the nida, where the adhan is called, in the masjid. He said, "Ala ha'ulai salawati haythu yunada bihin, fa inna Allah shara'a li nabiyikum sallallahu alaihi wasallam sunan al-huda." As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has legislated for your prophet the sunnah, the path of guidance. Sunan al-huda. وَإِنَّهُنْ مِنْ سُنَنَ الْهُدَى. And these are from the prayers in the masjid are from what? The path of guidance. وَلَوْ أَنَّكُمْ صَلَيْتُمْ فِي بِيُوتِكُمْ كَمَا يُصَلِّي هَذَا المتخلف. And if you were to pray in your houses like this mutakhallif, and mutakhallif is takhallafa an shay, it means that he doesn't do what's obligatory upon him. He stays back and he doesn't fulfill his obligations. When the people went out to jihad and the person stayed home and made up excuses of why he couldn't go, what? Is a mutakhallif. Alright, takhallaf an jihad, huh?
السعوديين لسه يستعملوا هذا.
Huh?
السعوديين لسه يستعملوا هذا الكلمة.
No, even in Yemen, they still, the Sheikh used to get on the people, تخلف عن الدروس والتخلف عن الصلاة في المسجد. Yeah. So he said, المتخلف في بيته لا تركتم سنة نبيكم. So he said, if you were to pray in your house like this mutakhallif, and the praise in his house, then you left off the sunnah, the path and the sunnah of your prophet. He said, وَلَوْ تَرَكْتُمْ سُنَّةَ نَبِيِّكُمْ لَضَلَوْتُمْ. And if you were to leave off the sunnah, the path of your prophet, you become misguided. وَمَا مِنْ رَجُلٍ يَتَطَهَّرُ فَيُحْسِنُ الطُّهُورَ. And there's not a man from amongst you that purifies himself. فَيُحْسِنُ الطُّهُورَ. And then he perfects his wudu, like his purification. ثُمَّ يَعْمِدُ إِلَى مَسْجِدٍ مِنْ هَذِهِ الْمَسَاجِدِ. And then he goes out purposely seeking, to get to the masjid. Like it wasn't by accident. Like he left out with the intention of going to the masjid. All right, from amongst all of these masajid. إِلَّا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَهُ بِكُلِّ خَطْوَةٍ يَخْطُوهَا حَسَنًا. Except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will write for him, for every step that he takes, one hasana, one reward. وَيَرْفَعَهُ بِهَا دَرَجَةً. And he increases him with every step that he takes. Another level for every step that he takes. وَيَحُطُّ عَنْهُ بِهَا سَيِّئَةً. And he removes from him one sin, one bad deed. He said, وَلَقَدْ رَأَيْتُنَا. And he said, and I saw us. He's talking about him and the Sahaba. This was in the time of the Sahaba. وَلَقَدْ رَأَيْتُنَا وَمَا يَتَخَلَّفُ عَنْهَا إِلَّا مُنَافِقٌ مَعْلُومٌ النِّفَاقِ. That nobody from amongst the people used to, avoid going to the prayer except for what? A hypocrite who's known to be, his hypocrisy is known. وَلَقَدْ كَانَ رَجُلُ يُؤْتَى بِهِ. A man will be brought, بِهِ يُحَادَى بَيْنَ رَجُلَيْنِ. That he'll be being carried between two men, like they're dragging his feet on the ground, because he's so weak that he can't walk to the masjid, that they carry him to the masjid. حَتَّى يُقَامَ فِي الصَّفِّ. Until they could stand him up and put him in the row. So I mean, that's more important than following your method. Following that is way more important than following your method. That's the sunan al-huda. If your madhab tells you to do something other than that, then, obey that, disobey your madhab. Allah musta'an. What's another question?
Someone sent me this hadith. So what does this mean?
I have to go back and read I remember reading the explanation of that a long time ago, but I can't remember the specifics of it. But there was a purpose for that, and I can't even. I need to go back and check the hadith. There might have been some type of illah in the hadith, even though it's in. I can't remember if it's in Bukhari or Muslim. But inshallah, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Inshallah, just remind me to check on it. I know the hadith, but what was said about it, I have to go back and double check.
Abdullah Suri.
Who's that?
I'm
I'm joking, man. I'm joking.
Oh, because he doesn't show up.
He doesn't show up because he's obeying his father.
I know, no.
Not like some people.
Well, I do it and I don't do it.
I had to do it, man. I had to do it.
For a good reason, that's why. You won't be able to do anything if you listen to him. But he says, my parents give me money on my birthday despite me telling them it's haram. Is it permissible for me to spend this money?
Give it to us. And we'll buy
50 pounds
tacos.
of rice.
We'll buy
Buy
tacos.
rice.
You shouldn't
Espresso machine.
You shouldn't keep that money for yourself,
press?
Abdullah. Just give it to us, and inshallah we'll get some ice cream,
French press.
some tacos.
French press.
Well, we ain't buying stuff for your house, Hafiz. Go to Walmart and get a French press for $12, man.
Shrimp tacos from Kerman. I get them free. So.
I mean, if they give the money for you as a gift and you didn't ask for it, khalas. I mean, you let them know that I don't accept anything for my birthday. If they still give it to you, take it.
Wouldn't you have to burn this money up?
Huh?
Wouldn't you have to burn it up?
Why would you burn it up?
Because we wanted that money to be haram because of the intention of giving it to you.
The intention is to give a gift, inshallah. But I mean, he didn't seek it. They gave it to him. Khalas, inshallah. I mean, as long as he tell him, like, I don't accept any gifts. I don't want any gifts. Let him know. I don't celebrate birthdays. But the problem is when he goes and tells his parents that I don't celebrate birthdays, and he's like, that's why we tell you can't go to Masjid al-Aqaba. They're teaching you to become extremists. Now you don't celebrate your birthdays anymore. So, you're going to get your head bashed in regardless. So, I mean, it's sad because my mother is not even Muslim. Doesn't know anything about Islam. But as soon as I became Muslim at 15 years old in, September, like around September 18th, right at the beginning of the school year, I became Muslim. Right, so that means that like we had 2 months, then you got Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all this stuff, right? Well, I told my mother right away, it's like, man, I don't take any gifts, I don't want anything, we don't celebrate these holidays, and she said, okay. But it's like, subhanAllah, and my mother's not even a Muslim, akhi.
My mother said the same thing.
Well, look. Good, right? We don't have to buy you anything. But I mean, she told me, she said, look, I still want to get you gifts, because you're my son. I said, fine, if you won't give me a gift, but don't get it for Christmas, just give me a gift. And just give it to me any day, but don't give it to me. I'm not going to take anything on that day. There is a celebration for the holiday. Just give it to me as a gift.
They don't call you Mujaddid? They didn't call you a Mujaddid?
No, that's Muslim parents.
Oh, yeah.
Muslim parents do this. That's what I'm saying.
Ignorant.
No, most Muslim parents do this.
Ignorant.
Well, most Muslim parents are ignorant.
You want to see like
most Muslims in the world are ignorant. So I mean, that's just the reality of, as far as the deen is concerned. The majority of the Muslims on the face of the earth right now are ignorant of their religion. So parents.
But they do know how to refute the Bible.
Huh?
I'm saying as a joke, but they
Who knows how to refute the Bible?
No, these online the keyboard warrior Muslims.
Oh, I'm not talking about. I thought you were talking about the parents.
No,
parents, they're following the Bible. What are you talking? They don't know how to refute nothing. They know how to follow it. They'll quote from the Bible more than they'll quote from the Quran.
They say, I made a mistake in my salah. Do I do sujood sahwi before or after? I don't know, but I could refute the Bible though.
He's got an agenda today. He had an agenda in the daily hadith class. Now he has an agenda now. Then he's going to take his agenda to the Kitab al-Tawheed class.
That's a special type of problem. If you're praying Salah and you're thinking about refuting the Bible, that's a whole different problem.
I didn't do the first tashahhud. Do I have to do the sujood sahwi? No, but I could refute the Old Testament.
Next question. Okay, Ibrahim is tripping, man. We're going to send him home to his family.
Oh no.
You need family time.
No. Don't.
What Ibrahim?
No. Hamza needs to go home. Hey.
I have chicken at the house. Hamid says, what does it mean if they are both in the condition of Muslim Bukhari? Like, what does muttafaqan alayhi mean?
It means that it fulfills, obviously it fulfills the condition of Bukhari, it fulfills the condition of Muslim. So that's that. Bukhari has the strongest condition. So, if it fulfills that condition, khalas, and it fulfills both of them. But that's when they say, like, for example, when they say, وَعَلَى شَرَطِهِمَا, that it's on the conditions of Bukhari and Muslim.
Okay. Jakartish says, if someone sneezes during Salah in the masjid and says Alhamdulillah, and another person nearby responds with Yarhamukullah, should the one who sneezed then reply Yahdikumullah?
No. The person who sneezed and said Alhamdulillah, he's doing dhikrullah. So that doesn't take him out of the salat. The person who responded, his salat is batila. and he's got to like go back and repeat his salat. He's made a salat batil because he's responded to that person, even if it's in dhikrullah. So if this person now comes back and responds back to him, and both of their salats are batila, and then both of them have to go back and start their prayer again, you know.
What if he says Jazakallah khairan?
Man, next question. I told you, he's got an agenda tonight. Something angered him on Reddit or something. I don't know.
I don't even have Reddit. I mean, I used to have it. But Hamid says, Ustad, whose lessons do you listen to?
Whose lessons I listen to for what?
Like, Umuman.
Sheikh Yahya. I listen to Sheikh Yahya. I listen to any of the students from Damaj.
Abu Bilal.
I don't listen to him so much. Like in Nahu. I have all his lessons, like not all of them, but a good portion of them that he recorded when he was in Damaj. I have those lessons on my laptop. So for stuff like in Nahu, I listen to that, but not like stuff like, it depends. I mean, which, like if it's a durus and like Mustalah Hadith, I listen to like Sheikh Turki al-Abadini, you know, and other students that were strong in Hadith, and then it's fiqh, it depends. Sometimes Sheikh Abdul Hamid, sometimes Sheikh Abu Amr, but mostly Sheikh Yahya.
Young Philly says, Sheikh is looking fresh with that coat.
Sheikh is looking cold. Yeah. With this coat, because it is a cold, and it's not even that cold, like temperature-wise.
No, if you wrap your head around it, you feel warm. Because that's me. I don't feel cold. My hands feel.
I'm saying that you look at the temperature, it's not cold temperature-wise.
You need to get one of those industrial heaters.
Or like my hands feel very cold. My face feels so warm. Earlier, Hamid says, I think Ilal al-Sabirin, Ibn Qayyim made it a debate.
What's that?
The book you mentioned.
Adab al-Sabirin.
Yeah, he said Ibn Qayyim made it a debate.
And Zad al-Ma'ad, he wrote it when he was going and traveling.
I think, if I'm saying it right, Fauzi says.
Fauzi?
Fauzi. Yeah.
Fauzi.
Because it's English, so I'm trying. Usually Fauzi, they write it with a W.
Fauzi.
If I go to the masjid at the time the salah is supposed to be but nobody shows up, will I still be rewarded as if I prayed in a congregation?
Inshallah, yeah. And that's your intentions.
What if I knew nobody would show up?
Doesn't matter. It's the salah in the masjid. You're going and you're establishing the prayer in the masjid. The first time I prayed Fajr here in Fresno as the imam, I was the only one here, you know, because that day my son didn't start coming. I let him, like, he was tired, so I just let him stay because we had just moved into the house, just got the car. Yeah, like the first day, it was just me by myself. I prayed alone. I'm like, well, that's a good start to being an imam in Fresno, ain't it? And then the second day, that's when I told my son, I was like, nah, you got to get up, dude. I can't do this. I can't sit and just pray by myself every day, you know? So then he started coming with me. Then we prayed, just me and him for like most of probably a good portion of all these months. It's just been me and you, right? Yeah, Fajr? I'll say about 70% of the time. More than that. Like, how would you say? Huh? He said 75% of the time it's just me and him. So, one time Ibrahim showed up.
Yeah. One time.
I walked in and Ibrahim showed up. I'm like, Akhi, you sick or something? Like, you know, I'm looking at him, are you okay?
Inshallah, I'm showing up. I'm starting to show up now.
Well, Hamza did show up for like 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3? I showed up way more than
4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Yeah.
4 to 5 times? No, that's not even.
Yeah. You pray Fajr over in a different masjid, though. Same thing, like you guys, you live in a different area, so that's understood that you don't show up here. Huh?
تكلم إبراهيم عن التورتيلا.
What is that?
Tortilla?
What is it? Yeah, man, what were you doing yesterday, Akhi? Were you driving just eating a tortilla?
Tortilla.
Yeah.
I was just laughing. I was laughing at you, man, because you drove off and I was hungry. I'm like, I can see that. You just eating a tortilla by yourself. I saw it like a piece of bread, but I was like, nah, that was a thin piece of bread. That couldn't have been a piece of bread.
Yeah, I just had a pack of corn.
He just Hey, man. It does, it works.
I ate one before the class too.
You could let us know. We could have brought something to put in it, or something, man. Almost done.
Say,
What's next? You're gonna let your friend now that you have chicken in the house, you're gonna let your friend just sit here and eat tortillas all day
I
long?
offered Hamza one, but he didn't want one.
Oh, of course. Yeah. he's Hollywood now,
No.
He's too good for tortillas now, he's beyond that. He's like put some sour cream and some cheese in your car or something, so you can just roll it.
Get your little stove cooker.
Yeah,
Portable stove.
Yeah, so you can heat it up,
Is that what they're called?
And if you get pulled over, why don't you offer the cop one?
Oh no, the police here probably beat you up. You offer them that. Most of the police here Mexican or no? Like, that ain't no tortilla. Get out the car. You're going to jail.
No, one time I offered a cop.
What are you offering me this garbage for? I'm going to take you to a tortilla. You're going to get a tortilla in jail.
I'm gonna donut.
Huh?
Donut.
Yeah, man, they don't eat no donuts here, do they?
No, I think they do.
I seen one outside a donut shop just eating one.
I seen them in Hanford one time. When I used to, like 3 years ago.
أظن شفنا كده.
Huh?
أظن شفنا كده من نفس الشرطة ياكلون الدونت.
I don't know, like the police in Florida, they eat Subway.
Really?
Yeah.
Full on cooking.
No, the police
They-
over here, they
they-
eat In-N-Out and Raising Cane's.
They because there was a lot of some of these places they give them discounts. So wherever they give them the discounts at, that's where they're gonna eat it. What was that one place it was called? Steak or something, man. Where they make steak burgers. I can't remember the place. But like that place right there, that was like in Jacksonville. That's the place. That's police.
Have
Oh,
a burger.
huh?
Have a burger.
The habit. No, they took it off. The steak
Now, this is a
sandwich.
place
Boy, I
in
got
Jacksonville.
so
I
mad
don't-
when I found out.
This place, I don't think they have this out. It's not on the West Coast. They have it in Saudi Arabia, but they don't have it in California. Yeah.
Logically, Muslim says, I know this might be personal, but have you seen the Prophet in a dream?
No, not that I know of.
Hamid says, what if I accidentally said a word in my... He said salad, but I'm pretty sure he means salat.
I mean, if it's an accident, something that you did unintentionally, you continue your salat. Because there's just something like, it happens. Like, for example, sometimes if I'm like praying, I make a mistake, and I say, oh, or like these are like unintentional words that but you just keep it going.
What about wa iyak?
Huh?
What about wa iyak?
I didn't say that in the salat. I left the salat. This guy, man, he's got an agenda today.
Hamid says, it's a nice coat. Good that you mentioned. Where can I get that?
At Family Trends on Fresno Street, owned by the very, very good Yemeni brothers.
Oh, we go to Legends.
Man, let me support the brothers that gave me the coat, Afi. The brothers that helped us out. The brothers that opened up a halal ice cream shop. Come on, man.
You can't forget about Legends. They have a big share in that too.
And then you can go to Legends. But yeah.
Then?
Huh?
Now go to Creamy Delight so your stomach could be good first.
And then after, actually, you got to go to Manhattan. You got to go to
Manhattan?
You got to go to Manhattan and get a sandwich first. Then you go to Creamy Delight. and get
Admire
the
my
sandwich.
tower.
Yeah, because Ibrahim is the one that set up the tile at Creamy Delight.
Oh yeah, you got to admire his work.
One in the group chat today, you said featuring my tile work.
Why did Saddam hire him, man?
For
Does he need tile done?
Huh?
Does he need tile?
No, they got to rip up the floor in the bathroom in my house.
Oh, they're already doing it though?
No, they were supposed to start tomorrow. I said, nah, man, wait till after Friday, because it's gonna take 3 or 4 days.
They're tiling? They're
to
tiling?
get diamond
They're gonna redo the whole floor.
With tile?
I guess so.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That would make sense.
جاي ما يريد يجي الدرس.
ها؟
جاي ما يريد يجي الدرس وانا اقول يعني
What's that?
أقول لك بعد الدرس.
All right, tell you. Next question. We go to Bulugh Marah.
Hamid says, wait, California is cold? I thought it was only New York.
It's desert, Akhi.
Yeah,
This is not cold like Jacksonville cold, Florida cold, East Coast cold.
it's a dry cold.
It's a dry cold, man, and it gets into your bones, and it makes you hate your life, and you can't get it out. it goes in there, you get under the blanket, the code just says, no, 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 you ain't getting away from me. And it gets in the blanket, it gets in the socks, it gets in everything, man. No, man, my kids up in the house. How many pairs of socks do you wear in the house? All the time, at least 2. You know, I've only got 1 on. Like, they always, like, put on 2 pairs of socks because it's so cold in the house.
Get one of those little heaters.
I don't want those heaters, man. I never use the heater. Never.
PG&E's gonna have a good day.
I'm enjoying right now. I'm really enjoying the electric bill going down. We'll be patient.
It has a
Get
thing.
firewood.
You set the temperature when it goes.
Oh, with what fireplace? Just what? Do a fire in my living room or what? Get some firewood. What am I gonna do with firewood? I'll keep burning the house down. Let's smoke everybody out the house. You know, it's like some firewood. Sit out there like the homeless out there, and we start a fire in the backyard and just.
They got a nice little thing though going right there.
Do what they did in Jackson.
Yeah.
Do what you
Oh, they got it right down the
I took
street.
a picture of it too.
Right where
Yeah,
where they
turn
hang
off
out
the window.
right before my house. All the
I
guys.
seen they even had
I-
a sign with community roles one time.
Yeah, look. That's the picture I took right before I came here. Took it.
Yeah.
We'll go hang out with them, man. We'll get a 6-pack of non-alcoholic beer and.
You might find one of the Khawarij over there. From the YouTube.
Go ahead, go ahead. What's the last question before we go to Bulugh Maram?
Jakartish says, some Muslims share pictures of scholars who held the opinion that photography is haram. They justify this by saying they follow the view that photography is permissible.
First off, photography is haram. Tasweer is haram. Second thing, I have no, and I have heard with my own ears the ulama making dua against anybody that like spreads their pictures. Sheikh Saleh Fawzan, Allah Yahfadhu, has mentioned it on countless occasions. He doesn't give anybody permission to, because even they go in the masjid, you got to understand, it's Saudi, they go in there, they set up the camera and they start filming him when he's teaching. And he said, I never gave them permission to do that. That's number one. And I've heard Sheikh Yahya make dua against the people that spread his picture. I would not want that dua. That's dhulm. We don't do that, akhi. Akhi, these people claim to be Salafis. And, you know, you study Kitab al-Tawheed. And we're going to get into this issue of Tasweer and Kitab al-Tawheed. What was the thing that started the shirk in the first place? And no, looking at the images of the Salihin. So you guys are telling me now that you claim to be Salafi and then you're going to go here and spread pictures of the ulama. We don't need pictures of the ulama. I don't care what he looks like. I care about his knowledge and what he teaches. That's what's important. And that's what we were just sitting here talking about before this class started, because my son doesn't want to do these videos, and I support him in that. And as soon as we finish the Kitab al-Tawheed and as soon as we finish the Seeking Knowledge book, we're not doing the Tasweer anymore. Khalas, we're done, you know. It's finished. Because it's not permissible. And the people, they sit there and like do this ta'zeem of these images. Oh, this is what Sheikh Al-Albani looks like. And what did you benefit from that? Except for a sin. For what? What was the benefit? Now y'all got to fear Allah. Well, these are ulama. And that's dhulm. We take their knowledge. You don't need to spread their picture. What's the benefit of that? Putting up a picture of Sheikh Al-Uthaymeen, Sheikh Mubaz. They didn't tell you to do that. What do you think that they would have been pleased with people spreading their pictures around? Yeah, fear Allah. Fear Allah. And we take their knowledge. That's what we're about. We don't do this ta'zeem, to the point where we like, what are you going to start doing? Making posters and hanging them up on your wall now? Yeah, it's, fear Allah. But now it got to that. That's where it started. And I told you what happened now. It started with them spreading pictures of what? Of the Salihin. Then it led to them what? Posting pictures of kuffar when the kuffar died. And doing ta'zeem of these kuffar. Like I mentioned, when Kobe Bryant died, there were Salafi brothers who studied with us in Damaj, posting pictures of Kobe Bryant, talking about R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Are you serious? I mean, bila shak. That's crazy, akhi. Why would you sit there and even post stuff like that about a kafir, akhi, that died clearly on kufr? So Allah Muslim, man, people got to fear Allah with that. That's spreading the pictures of the ulama. I don't think you want that dua. I don't think you want that.
Yukhsha alayhi nifaq means like it's feared that he has hypocrisy.
Man, you talk about ta'zeem al-kuffar, akhi. That's sick. All right, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال الإمام الحافظ بن حجر رحمه الله تعالى. So we're on hadith number 1060. Huh? طيب. 1060. Oh, we're back, huh?
Sorry. It only comes back on Wednesday?
No, it's only on Wednesday. Yeah? All right, so 1060 عن عائشة رضي الله عنها أن سودة بنت الزمع وهبت يومها لعائشة رضي الله عنها وكان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقسم لعائشة يومها ويوم سودة متفق عليه. All right, so Aisha, she reported that Sauda bint Zam'a wahabat, it means that she gifted her day to Aisha. And this was in the latter portion of the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That because Sauda, she's the oldest of all the wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All right, her name is Sauda bint Zam'a, she's Qurashiyya. All right, she was previously married, and then to a guy his name was Sakran ibn Amr. Then after he died, then the Prophet ﷺ married her, and she was the first wife after who?
Khadija.
After Khadija, his first wife. So she was the oldest of the wives of the Prophet ﷺ. So she gave up her day because the Prophet ﷺ, he wanted to be with Aisha during the last especially when he was sick, and she gave up her day so he could, and then gave her day to Aisha radiallahu anha. So this shows the permissibility of the woman, of her giving up her day for another one of the women that she's like I guess what they call, I don't like to use that word, co-wives. What's the word in Arabic? Barra. Barratun. Barratun. With a tab marbuta. That's the woman that what they would translate as a co-wife. All right, so I don't like these American terminologies. So she could give up her day, لِضَرَّتِهَا, to the woman, to the other wife. Obviously, this also has to be with the man's permission. That the man also has to agree, because the man, he has rights also with the woman, and she can't just give up her day or her night with the man, and he doesn't want to give up that day. So in this case, the Prophet ﷺ did want more days with Aisha, and she gave up that day, so it shows the permissibility for that as long as they both agree. If there's an agreement, then there's no issue with that. All right. But you can't, it's not permissible for you to force her or to threaten her. Like, for example, somebody might not like one of his wives, but he doesn't want to divorce her, and he tells her, you better give up your day or else I'm going to divorce you. Because as long as she's married to him, then what? It's still obligatory for him to support her. But once they get divorced, then it's not obligatory for him to support her. So maybe she gives up her day out of fear, even though she doesn't want to lose her right. That's not permissible, and that's oppression. It has to be something that's agreed upon between the two. Allah knows best. All right, so the next hadith, which is here written 1061, 1062, because it's two hadiths in the one. He said, وعن عروة قالت عائشة رضي الله عنها يا ابن أختي كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يفضل بعضنا على بعض في القسم من مخته عندنا. She said, oh son of my sister, referring to Urwa. All right, and the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not favor any one of us over another fil qasam, and the distribution amongst them. You know, like he was just in everything that he gave all of his wives, and with the fil qasam with the days. All right, so if he, even if he, obviously the most beloved wife to him was what? Aisha. She got the same number of nights with the Prophet as the other wives until Sauda gave up her night to Aisha. All right, so the qasam, like in that regards of him splitting up the nights, he was fair and just. He said, "Min muqtihi andana," whenever he stayed with us. وَكَانَ قَلَّ يَوْمٌ إِلَّا وَهُوَ يَطُوفُ عَلَيْنَا جَمِيعًا. So he said, and it was very rare, except that he would what? He would always on occasion. Like he would, as habit, يَطُوفُ عَلَيْنَا جَمِيعًا, that he would go to every single one of his wives to visit them to make sure that they had everything that they needed. فَيَدَنُوا مِنْ كُلِّ إِمْرَأَةٍ. So he would go to each woman one by one, مِنْ غَيْرِ مَسِيسٍ. And غَيْرَ مَسِيس here, it means مِنْ غَيْرِ جِمَاعٍ, that he would not go there and he would not be intimate with any of those wives. He would only go there for the purpose of what? Checking on them, making sure that they had whatever they needed. If it's that woman's night, then that's who he stays with, that's who he's intimate with on her night. He doesn't oppress her by going to another wife and saying, well, I'm going to have a lunch break with her and then I'm going to have dinner with her. No, that's not permissible. It's her day. It's her day. Unless what?
They give permission.
Unless he gets permission from that wife, whose day it is. So he goes to her and says, hey, I didn't, maybe he was busy the night before when it was that woman's night. And he lets her know, like, hey, I was busy. She didn't get her rights. I just want to go to her and I'll come right back. And if she agrees to that, khalas, that's her business. That's up to her. If she says no, then that's her night. It's her, it's her rights. So, but it's not, you can't just go and try to sneak one in, like a lot of people do, and this is oppression. It's, you go to each of the women, you need anything, you got the food you need, you got everything you need, khalas. Go to the next wife, until you end up with the wife that you're going to spend the night with. He said, حَتَّى يَبْلُغَ الَّتِي هُوَ يَوْمَهَا, until he reached the woman whose day it was. فَيَبِيتُ عَنْدَهَا, and he would spend the night with her. رواه أحمد وأبو داود ولفظ له وصححه الحاكم. The hadith is authentic. And he said, Muslim, and this is the part where it says 1062, and Aisha رضي الله عنها قالت كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا صلى العصر دار على نسائه ثم يدنو منهن. Al-Hadith. So he said, if he prayed Asr, he would pray Asr, and then after the Salat, he would go to visit his wives after Asr. This was his habit. But this is not an obligation. It depends on the person. You can go after Dhuhr, you can go after Asr, you can go after Maghrib. When you have the free time to do that. That was the time that the Prophet ﷺ used to do it. But that's not, you don't have to do it at that specific time.
What does yadnu mean?
Yadnu means qaruba.
Qaruba?
To become close. You'll go close to them.
Qaruba.
It comes from the word dana. All right, so just watching. All right, so it shows the permissibility of what? Again, that the person, he can go and he checks on each of the wives, and the masis here, even though the word massa, it means to touch, that doesn't mean that he's not allowed to touch. Like he can't go into he doesn't go into the house and say, don't touch me, don't touch me. No, hug the wife, just basic things, but not if you feel that it's going to lead to you doing something that might be wrong, then avoid too much touching if you can't control yourself. Because again, save that energy for what? For the woman whose night it is. You're not spending that energy. Then you get to that woman and you're tired, or no, you can't do that. It's oppression. You know,
What's the word in Arabic for having marital relations with your wife? What's the word in Arabic for having marital relations with your wife?
the word jima'.
Jima'.
But here, masis, here, بغير masis, it means jima'.
Jima'.
Mubashara, jima', nikah, all of these words that mean.
Masis?
But in this hadith, that's what it means. All right. Any more questions?
So yeah, I learned vocabulary.
Hmm?
I learned like four new vocabulary words. Yadnu, darra, dana, jima', masis. That's 5 words.
It came in the hadith of Abi Sa'id al-Khudri when he went to Herakl, Azim al-Rum. You look at the first hadith in Bukhari. He said, من أقرب نسبا بهذا الذي يزعم عنه النبي. He said, which of you is the closest in the lineage to the person that claims that he's a prophet? And Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, he said, me. So he said, فَأَدَنُوهُمْ minni. He said, bring him close to me. Mhm.
The saying in the salah take you out of it. Like
The what?
like let's say someone's reading, I don't know, the Surah Al-Anfal, and then he forgets what part he's on. He says does that take him out of the salah, or is that considered talking?
It's not talking.
And that goes for any part of the salah, sujood. Okay.
Obviously, you should avoid that. If he does it too much, it'll take him out because he's left out the salah. He just sits there like, yeah, I mean, خلاص.
كون صاحب اخبار
Huh?
كون صاحب اخبار
صاحب الأخبار. That's how they talk, huh?
بس حاول تتكلم بالعربي بس هو ما يعرف حتى
I mean, he answered the question in the very, very beginning of the live stream. He's asking, like, why do you do the video if you believe?
We just answered it right now. So we're not going to. Once we finish these other 2 classes, we're not doing the videos anymore. So
Young Philly says, is South Yemen a safe place to study?
safe in what regards?
From Houthis.
I mean, there's problems in Yemen everywhere, but it depends on where you're going to study in South Yemen. So, if you're studying with the wrong people, it's dangerous because they're gonna mess up your deen. So, studying with the people of the Sunnah, alhamdulillah. You study with the Hizb al-Jadid and khalas, man. It's Ashab al-Fawda, Ashab al-Tafriq, and yeah, it's gonna mess you up. And they could be even more dangerous than the Houthis. See, the Houthis is like aduun dhahir, like, wadih, nobody. But then the biggest enemy that you have is the worst enemy is the one that looks like you, talks like you, but he's got a sharp knife when you turn around. That's the biggest, and that's a worse enemy than the Houthi. Houthi, akhi, we got nothing but between us and the Houthis except for guns and the mountains. We're going to fight them, akhi. That's like, there's no argument between us. There's nothing going to be solved between us and the Houthi. It's just war. That's it.
So,
And then that's going to be between us and the Rafid. There's nothing to argue about. They're on a whole nother deen. It's going to be war. That's it. But these other people, then that dress like us, talk like us, and act like us, but they're not. They got that sharp knife and waiting for everybody to turn around and look for that opportunity. And khalas, they're more dangerous out here.
remember you didn't give a fatwa. You told us that Imam Ahmed gave a fatwa that shaving the head during his time would be haram. So obviously the color of the Houthis is green. So if I wear this stove right now in Sana'a, would it be tashabbuh bil-Hawth? I don't know.
That's your intentions.
So would me wearing a green stove like what I'm
I mean,
wearing
you
right
should
now,
avoid wearing it if that's what the people are going to think that's what you're doing. You understand? So he would have told the people it's impermissible to shave the head because if you shaved your head, people are going to think that you're Khariji. If you go in and wear a green thobe, and if that's what the people are going to think, then avoid it.
So would you say that me wearing a thobe right now, like wearing what I'm wearing right now in Sana'a, like the thobe and this, Will it be haram?
I won't say it'd be haram. I don't think anybody will pay attention to it. I would avoid the green anyways, because the Sufis, they got the same thing. Green was the favorite color of the Prophet, brother. You know, this is what they say. So, somebody did send me a hadith about that, but I never checked it. I need to go back. I can't find it now because that stuff's buried in Telegram. If I don't check the messages on Telegram today, you forget it, Akhi. That's buried, Akhi. That goes way down. It's like those brothers in Damascus, those brothers in Yemen, they putting up like 200 audios at a time. So it's like, if I don't check, even him, he'll send me a message, be like, did you see the message? Nope. Because it's like, it's already buried, Akhi. You know, because it's already like 20, 30 people they put up the roofs, and your message just went way down to the bottom.
Hamid says, what is wrong with, I think, Darul Fuhush, and a brother who is curious to study in Yemen and is wanting to know what should he do because of the huge fitna of who to go with?
Please go with the people of Thabat. And Fuyushin are not the people of Thabat. Khalas, intahina. You know, khalas, man. We know what they're about. Everybody from the students of Damascus knows what they're about. Khalas. You know? Well, they showed their true colors, all of them. You know, during the times of the 2010, 2011, when the brothers were getting attacked by the Houthis, all these people showed their true colors. So it's clear to us. It's not clear to the people in America and the West because they don't know, they weren't there, so they don't know the type of stuff that was going on. And most of the people, they don't really know what the issues were about. But this is actually not. I mean, all of that stuff, everybody came out of their sheep's wool during all that time. From 2010 to 2014, we saw so much wool. You know, those wool clothing started to come out, and we saw nothing but wolves. So Sheikh Yahya has always been a person of Thabat. He's always been a person of Sunnah. Every single fitna, and he's still the same, doing the same thing, teaching like he hasn't changed. Actually, you have not seen that man. I've not seen no change. I've seen a change. I've seen him progress. I've seen his knowledge get stronger. Like his durus now are a lot more beneficial than the durus that we took when he first took the chair. Because when he first took the chair, he just wanted to keep the durus like Sheikh Mubel. He was like, he kept it real short and real easy because obviously he didn't want the people to think like he's trying to show up the Sheikh. He wasn't trying to do that. Even though the Sheikh would make him teach, even when he was alive, when he was there. So the Sheikh was always teaching in place of Sheikh Mubel. And even in his presence. So that's the person of Thabat. That person, you look at Sheikh Yahya, they can say whatever they want about that man. But they're going to have to answer for that on the day of judgment. We know him. We know him. We sat with that man for years. You can't sit here and come to me talking about you sitting here like, oh, you sitting in America and you hear some fitna by some joker that studied in Kuwait for like 6 months. Come on, some clowns like this, and then because he says something or he says something. These people went to Sheikh Rabi' and spread lies. Sheikh Rabi' trusted the people, and he gave his opinion about the Sheikh based on what? Lies. And then once he realized that the people were lying, and all those people, imagine this, right? Imagine. Everybody that went to Sheikh Rabi' and told him, Sheikh Yahya did this, Sheikh Yahya said this, Sheikh Yahya. Don't you know that Sheikh Rabi' refuted every single one of them? Before, some of them are dead now, but before their deaths, Sheikh Rabi' refuted all of them. But he still won't take his speech back about Sheikh Yahya. To say like he was right. He was right. He tried to tell me, but he won't take it back. Even in Mecca, Sheikh Yahya, just to show you, all the oppression was against him, and he still tried to go to Sheikh Rabi' and to sit down and talk with him. Even though he was the one being oppressed. He still tried to solve the issues and try. While he was in Mecca, he's tried to sit down with the Sheikh, and the Sheikh refused. He said no. So just to show you. So this is a reality, Akhi. That's a person on Thabat. The Sheikh has always been on Thabat. He's been a man of action. And during that time with the jihad against the Rafidah, he was the only one that wasn't quaking. He was the only one who stood firm against them. All these other jokers, like I said, they started, their true colors started to come out. Well, Muhammad al-Imam called the police on his own students who tried to go to Kitab and fight in Kitab. Called the police on his own students, Akhi. and got his own students put in jail. And Abdul Rahman al-Adani threatened his students the same thing. He said, any of you go to Kitab, I'm going to report you. So this is, Akhi, come on. And this is the reality. These are things, like I said, there's way more than this. That, Akhi, wallahi, I could sit here, but like I said, this is not the place for that. And people should not be busy with this type of stuff. But if you're going to Yemen, that's who you need to be with. You got, alhamdulillah, Sheikh Rashad al-Dhali'i, alhamdulillah, very beneficial brother. You got Sheikh Fath al-Qadasi, very beneficial brother. He's in Taiz. Sheikh Rashad is in Dhali'i. You got Sheikh Hussein al-Hatibi. I'm not exactly where is he in Aden or where is he at? You got Sheikh Abdul Hamid and al-Hajuri, he's in Mahra. You got Sheikh Abu Amr in Mahra. You got Sheikh Abu Bilal in Hadramaut. And you got Sheikh Yahya in Hadramaut. But I mean, even like Akhi, in the end, the most knowledgeable of them, Sheikh Yahya. So,
is Rashad al-Dhali'i, is he a alim? Would he be considered an alim or no?
He's a very heavy-duty student. I mean, he's a sheikh. He's a person who will probably not be satisfied with that, but he's deserving of the title of sheikh.
Well, is he an alim? Is he from the ulama?
He's an up-and-comer.
Okay. Yeah. But he's not right now. I'm not.
That's not, look, like,
there's nothing against him.
I'm saying, listen, him being an alim or not being an alim, that's for somebody like Sheikh Yahya, somebody like that to say that. That's not for me to say that. I'm going to tell you what I know about him. He's a very, very beneficial brother. He goes out there, he teaches, and he's also at the checkpoints, and he's fighting against the Houthis whenever. So, these brothers are real, Akhi. These are real brothers. Not these little fake, phony, Walmart, Chinese, made in China type Salafis that, sit there and they want to sit here and, write books about the Rafidah, and then when the Rafidah take over Sana'a, please take all my books off the shelf. I take back everything I said about the Rafidah, and now all of a sudden he's the Imam for the Rafidah now. Now he's the Mufti for the Rafidah. Now every time that the Rafidah want him to say something, here you go, say that. The Sayyid said, now he's like a little puppet, Akhi. That's why I put that donkey thing on there, because that's what I'm saying, because he's been given what to say by the Rafidah. That's his, those are his people now, Allahumma star.
So is that what is it? Dar al-Fuhush, are they Ikhwan al-Muflisun?
Fiyush. Well, I mean, Dar al-Fuhush, wallahi, yeah, ismu ala musamma. Wallahi.
Fiyush?
No, al-Fuhush. Al-Fuhush. Dar al-Fuhush. Yeah, what was it?
Al-Fuhush.
Al-Fiyush.
Are they Ikhwan al-Muflisun?
No, they're the Hizb al-Jadid people. They're the ones that started all this fitna in Yemen.
Are they Muslim or no?
Yeah, they're Muslim. Yeah. They were all our brothers back in the days. We all studied together in Damascus. All those brothers that went off and started that markaz are all in Damascus, at one time. So, the ones that started it, not like the, the up and coming students. Like these guys probably never studied in Damascus, but all the original people, yeah.
He says, where are they?
Dar
al-Fuhush. Where are they?
Don't worry about that.
That's what they said.
I'm saying they're in Yemen.
Hamid says, what do you think as a Muslim we should learn about the human body and its details and of the opposite gender?
I mean, whatever. Like, look, Akhi, there's benefit in learning something, that's going to help you in your dunya and your deen. Learn it. If there's no benefit, leave it, Akhi. Y'all don't know what benefit you're going to get by studying the human anatomy. I mean, the one person who studied the human anatomy the most was Ibn Sina, and he left Islam, Akhi. So what? I mean, if he was ever a Muslim, but I'm just saying, like, his statements made him a kafir, Akhi. So it's like, because he was from the Hululiyah, from the Bataniyah. So
wouldn't it be fard kifaya?
What's up?
You're saying,
Oh, what?
تكلم.
هل تسمح لي نطول شوي؟
What?
هل تسمح لي أطول شعري؟
شو؟
هل تسمح لي أطول شعري؟
No. والله أنا جي
لهم.
بخلي مجاهد يمسكك وأنا بأهلك شعرك.
لماذا كما قال أسد بن محمد?
Because I told you, like, nowadays it's the opposite. In the time of Imam Ahmed, the Khawarij used to shave their heads. Nowadays, the Khawarij, they grow their hair long. You don't want to tashabbuh bihim. Abadan. So I don't see it as, You know, I don't give you permission to grow your hair long. You know, it gets too long, cut it. I keep everything short. I kept it short for a long time because of that. I don't want to be associated with anything. When you have a beard and a thobe and long hair, it's just nah, man. And they're automatically gonna associate you with that anyways.
With who?
With the Khawarij.
How long is the hair? Like down here? Does it matter?
I mean, just be a normal person, man.
No, I do it just because I want not because I think if I do it, it's mustahab. I just do it because I always wanted to do it.
All right, you did it. Now get rid of
No,
it.
I like how it looks. MA says, is there anything as a Sharia compliant house mortgage?
What's that?
Is there anything considered as a Sharia compliant house mortgage, like a halal house mortgage?
No, because it's interest.
سؤال عبد الملك
Huh?
سؤال عبد الملك
نعم.
Where is he? Oh, he's not online or what?
أنا غازي ماشي بسيارة
No, عبد الملك
He's probably had to go out and do some things.
I think cyberly موجود. Hamid says, what reasons a woman would give her days out to someone worse?
Out of what?
Out to someone worse.
What do you mean somebody worse? Why would we talking about worse? I don't understand the question.
I don't mean either.
I mean, if you're saying what reasons would she give her days to another woman, I mean, there could be a lot of reasons. Maybe she's just like one of those women. She doesn't like to be bothered. You know, you got women that are different. So women that have like a colder disposition, you know, and they don't really need that company. They want to be alone more.
Shkartish says, I asked my friend to take care of my janazah when I pass away so it can be done in accordance with the sunnah, inshallah. They accepted it. If they fail to fulfill this amana, would they be held sinful?
Bila shak.
He says, does making such a request place an undue burden on a Muslim?
No, it doesn't place any burden because the person has the right to accept it or reject it. If they accept it on condition, because obviously the condition is that person has to be alive and have the means to do that. If you leave the means behind for that person to do that, so the person doesn't really have to do anything, all they have to do is just oversee and make sure that everything is done in accordance with the Quran and the Sunnah. Khalas. That's not to overburden somebody. So it's your friend. When that person want to do that without you requesting anyways, right? But to make it legal, so like somebody like family can't come in and change things. And no, you put that in the writing and you make an agreement, and khalas.
43 Heart and 10 says, is it true that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam 43 Heart and 10
43 Heart and 10
says,
Arthur
huh?
or HARTON
says, is it true that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had long hair at one point and braided it?
He had long hair, but that was because that's the customs of the people. And he braided it only when he was traveling or he was going into battle. He didn't just walk around with braids in his head all the time.
And that's
A lot of people use that to say, to go and start doing these braids, like what the braids that the people are doing nowadays are braids for women. There's not.
cornrows.
Huh?
Cornrows.
Yeah, cornrows is women. It's a female thing. It's always been a female thing throughout history. But for some reason, America turned it into a male thing. I don't know.
Dreadlocks.
Huh?
Well, dreadlocks.
Yeah, see, I'm completely against that. Dreadlocks is a religious thing from the Rastafarians.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do not see that as permissible. That's the Shabbat bil Kufar. Even one time, a brother in Damaj, how was that? He just like, because over there it gets really, really cold in the wintertime, and we don't have electricity. So even if you heat the water up on a stove, by the time you pour the water into the water and it's warm, it gets cold like that. It's just like as soon as you pour it, it's cold. And because it's so cold, like this, like this, but you have to live like this. Like, in this temperature, you have to take a bath like outside. That's the temperature we're taking baths in. So even if the water's hot, it doesn't matter. By the time you pour it, it's already cold. So we don't take a lot of showers in the wintertime when we're in the village. So what happened to Abu Zainab is his hair started to get, And he was sitting there, when he was reading books, he would sit there and twist his hair. So it started to like twist up. And Sheikh Yahya saw him. Sheikh Yahya passed by him one day and he was in the library. He was doing research in the library and the Sheikh was leaving the library. And Sheikh Yahya, he said he walked, he stopped, he walked back, he said, Sha'ar al-Kufar, barakallahu feek, and just walked off, he said, this is the hair of the Kufar, barakallahu feek. So he said he went up right away and shaved his hair off, like he cut it off. It's just the way he did it. Just stopped, backed up, Sha'ar al-Kufar, barakallahu feek, gone,
That was the last question.
All right. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. He just wants to turn it off.
I have a chicken at the house.